everyone, welcome back to Oz Football Talk. I'm Cody Ojeda and we're back with a slightly new format and hopefully some new and interesting content for your viewing pleasure. This will be a bonus episode to go through my own A-League men's predictions for the 25-26 season. It's never easy to predict this league. Each year there's plenty sides that are always quite close in quality, but as the season's about to begin, it allows a chance to at least speak briefly about each team and what we may expect from them. So, without further ado, this is my A-League men's predictions for the upcoming season, starting with 12th place, which unfortunately is Wellington Phoenix. There's not much I can really say about them. There's a few youngsters that are exciting. Luke Brooksmith, Gabby Sloan Rodriguez, I think will be exciting to see. And as they're coming in, could be interesting too. Overall though, I don't think they stack up that well against other sides in the competition. Wooten and Barbarouses in particular. The key losses that were key for them, not just last season, but in recent years too. And I completely understand what happened the last time someone predicted this.
There's a picture of a certain person on YouTube that tipped us to be last. It's up on the change room, and it tied in with one of our value meetings. Togetherness is one of our values, and it stays up there. And it's a constant reminder of what people think of us.
For the record, I am more than happy to be that person this time. I do love being proven wrong. But moving on. In 11th, I have the Mariners. And in all honesty, I'm splitting hairs between them and Wellington. They could just as easily have been the other way around. I've seen nothing to suggest the side is any better than it was last year. They were hit with several key losses before that season and struggled as a result. And heading into this season, where they desperately needed further reinforcements, they've signed a total of 2 players over the age of 23 if you include the return of Sabit Noor from loan. And worst of all, they had this in the lead up a couple of weeks ago.
Some massive news regarding Mariners head coach Mark Jackson just 10 days out from the F3 Derby round 1. This is coming from Round Ball Australia this morning, who has shared that sources are indicating that Mark Jackson is close to a move to Buriram United.
Just last week, it was announced he was leaving. So the Mariners head into this season with a squad still reeling from an exodus 12 months ago, no head coach, and a less than ideal ownership situation. That is rough. It just feels like there's a weird vibe around the club, and if they're not careful, this could regress to what their dark days were only a few years ago. Next in 10th spot, I've got Perth Glory, who this season may as well be the A-League's West United sanctuary, as Jaden Kucharski, Shabir Shamoun, and Reece Bosnowski have all found refuge in Perth, while Western Goan Football's version of a gap year. The cycle for Perth has become predictable year on year since 2021. They bring in a new set of players that make you think things will turn around for the club, and each time we're left more disappointed than the season before. And we're seeing that again this season. There's good signings on paper, but I can't trust that it'll come off. The biggest example to point to is Tom Lawrence coming in, and the 180 in perception it's done for the club. Yes, on paper, it's a good signing, and it could very well work out also. But looking ahead to the next 30 odd weeks, if one transfer can be used as a basis to suggest a side will be successful, then just about every side in the A-League are set to win the league this year. So until I see something from Perth that suggests things are going to be different, I'm not buying the hype. To 9th, I've put Adelaide United, and it's been a tumultuous off-season for them, from how Carl Vert's final weeks were handled, to reports of what occurred with Tunnicliffe and Cavallo, particularly the latter. He's only scratching the surface of what happened behind the scenes this season. I have so much more to reveal when I'm ready. Carl was under clear instructions by people above him, Ernest Faber, during pre-season that I wasn't allowed to step foot on the pitch. Carl didn't have the conversation with me about the truth until the last 3 weeks of the season, hence why I was sidelined fit for the entire season. I got questioned on a daily basis what was happening. What you think Adelaide United is, think again. It's not quite what I believed it was. It broke my heart and also my career as a footballer. It's really a shame to see. Adelaide are traditionally one of the better run clubs in the league, but they've had new owners come in not too long ago, and this is not the best impression of them. The squad itself, a major point of difference this season will be the age profile. The visa players coming in are Smits, 32, Muniz, 33, and Anselmo, 36, alongside Goodwin's return to the club. That's probably where their key aspect to their season is. Adelaide in the last few years have been exponentially better with Craig Goodwin in the side. Individually, he could be the difference between them making finals or not. In this case though, I'm not backing it. In 8th spot, I've gone with Brisbane Roar, who are in a vastly different situation to what we've spoken about already. The off-season for the club has been brilliant. Valkanis is a major improvement on the bench, and their squad has improved massively. Stajic, McGarry, Roos, Buzanis, Long, Vidic, Valkanis' son, Vraka, Salas, Lawton, all good signings on paper, which makes it all the more crazy that their best signing has been Joseph fucking Esposito in their comms department. Brisbane were a shambles in almost every aspect last season, but everything around the club feels very different coming into this one, and the players know it too.
Michael's building a pretty strong squad. How are you feeling? How's everyone settling in?
Yeah, I'm really confident with the squad. I would say it's probably the best squad that I've seen since I've been here, going into an A-League season. So, yeah, really looking forward to the season.
There's a very real chance they make finals, but unfortunately, the platform they're working off from last season isn't very high, which I think holds them back. Which leaves one more team that misses finals. I believe that'll be the Wanderers in 7th. And this may be a surprising pick. They had a squad that ebbed and flowed last year until they settled under Stajic and then went on a long winning run. But now they've lost a lot of high quality players, and I don't believe they've been replaced all that well. The positives are the large amount of experience coming in, and they still have the core of a high quality defence from last season intact. But the players coming in, aside from Thurgate and Barbarouses, are a bit uninspiring. A few members of the Mariners season under Staj, whose careers haven't exactly improved since then. To me, it shows they've played the off-season a little too safe, and I think it comes back to hurt them. To the teams that will make finals, or at least that I believe will make the finals, and in 6, I have the Jets. Now, I've tried to make a point here to not get wrapped up in Australia Cup results. I haven't brought up a single one for any team so far. But the Jets winning the competition should count for something. Under Mark Milligan, they look good. And despite maybe not having the quality of some other sides in the competition, they may be better than the sum of their parts. Battleado could be the young star of the league. Max Burgess is a man on a mission. And Kota Mizunuma could be one of the top visa players in the competition this season. It's genuinely exciting to see right now. I think Jets have a good reason to hold on to decent expectations for this team. Moving on, in 5th place I have Sydney FC. And this one is a tricky one to predict. There's a lot of aspects of this side that could be hit or miss. Players like Kisper, Garuccio, Tisserand will no doubt improve the squad, but the jury will probably be out on Toure and Capozano to start with. But at least the obvious deficiency in the side last year, which was their backline, looks to have improved. Ocon Jr. and Yuli will most likely have control of the midfield, which could also either be really good or not so good. Ocon Jr. in particular is one of Australia's brightest prospects right now, and isn't far off Socceroos level either, according to the Socceroos staff that called him up a few months ago. But there's a lot of pressure on Sydney FC right now. It's a club with high expectations, and they cannot afford to miss finals again. In 4th spot, I've gone with Melbourne Victory. I think their off-season's been a good one. Despite losing Mashash, Teague, Azani and Boz, they've brought in a host of good players with varying age profiles, and mostly Aussies, which is impressive. And you know it's a good window when you sign a World Cup and Champions League winner, and it's barely anything more than a footnote.
So, yeah, if we look at all of those big name signings that we've had over the years, there's been more misses than hits. But
he's so old. Like, his legs are fucking gone. I don't know.
okay.
It's tough. I hope he surprises us.
If that's a sore point of your window, safe to say it's been a good window. It's going to be a big season for Arthur Dills. Last season wasn't an easy situation to step into by any stretch, but he took the task on well. Now with a squad he can call his own in a pre-season to set things up in his own way, top 4 should be an expectation. Considering this is Melbourne Victory we're talking about, that's probably going to be a conservative expectation. Meanwhile, their crosstown rivals Melbourne City I have 3rd. The main thing that holds this side back is a fixture pile-up, because off talent alone, this is an incredible side. You have a core of young players who are either recent graduates or just won promotion to the NPL Victoria, alongside Socceroo and international experience. And look, balancing priorities on a number of fronts is tricky, but A-League sides do have a tendency, rightly or wrongly, to prioritise the league, which is a trend I expect City to continue. In 2nd place, I've gone with Macarthur FC. I think there's a lot to like about this team. Despite losing some quality, they brought in some good players too. They too have to balance commitments in Asia, but have players like Caceres and Bratton who would be comfortable in situations like this, and that should help them navigate the task at hand. On top of that, there's good international quality too. Philip Curto, one of the best keepers in the league on his day, Damien Da Silva, a proven A-League defender, comes in, as well as Jidong Won, a former Premier League striker, and Rafael Duran, who looks a handy player from Mexico's 2nd tier. That just leaves top spot to go, which, if you haven't figured it out already, is Auckland FC. And this may be the safe pick, but I do think it's the right one. They've lost very little quality, and the only one that hasn't been replaced at the same level is probably Alex Paulson. And even then, the upside to Ollie Sale is still quite good despite his last couple of years. But you have the likes of Sakai, Prostrada, Brimmer, May, and a host of other high quality players. And then you add Girdwood Reich, Brook, Cosgrove. Expectations should be high. And I'm going to circle back to Paulson again because he single-handedly won Auckland a lot of points last year. But the improvement in other areas of the park should counteract this. Now I do appreciate this is probably a boring pick. The reality is Auckland have a high quality squad, there's not a reliance on young players, and minimal turnover means there should be a seamless transition into this season. Also why I'm being a little safe with my pick, as I did last year, I'll be donating $5 to charity for each place I am off for each prediction. So if, say, Jets, who I said will finish 6th, actually finish 4th or 8th, that's 2 places off, so $10 to charity. And as much as I do want to donate, I'm also not made of money, so I'm not going to back anything wild. But that's how I do believe the league will finish this season. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, share with your mates, even let me know in the comments how dumb I am. It all helps me out greatly. Let me know in the comments where you'd like to see the money go to as well. Last year, I was able to donate $240 to the DT38 Foundation. So if you have any ideas for this season, I'm all ears. That's all for today's episode, but we'll be back for weekly episodes from next week, every Friday at 4:30. Make sure you're tuning in. This has been Oz Football Talk. My name's Cody Ojeda, and I will see you very soon.